This year in Paris, Taiwanese chef Wang Peng-chieh was crowned world champion in artistic bread making, dazzling the judges with a statue of a Taiwanese religious icon made entirely of bread.
But beyond winning global titles and baking unforgettable bread, Chef Wang and others like him hope to blaze a path for Taiwan in the distinctly European tradition of bread making. Over the last few years, local bakers have been hard at work trying to create a bread that's quintessentially Taiwanese. Tonight, we take a look in our Sunday special report.
And the winner is Taiwan!
After a wait of 10 years, 31-year-old baker Wang Peng-chieh finally reached the pinnacle of his industry, besting the best bakers in the world at the Master de la Boulangerie competition. Not long after winning the title of World Master Baker, Chef Wang is home again, instructing the chefs of his kitchen on the finer points of bread art. These chefs are preparing for the national qualifiers, their springboard to next year's Masters. The theme of today's challenge is Guanjiang Shou, a sort of underworld police in Taiwanese folk religion. It's this theme that earned Chef Wang first place in the artistic bread-making category at the 2018 Masters. Chef Wang's award-winning creation was a Guanjiang Shou sculpture made out of bread. He said the inspiration came from the 8 general parades that he joined as a teenager.
I chose Guanjiang Shou because I was exposed to that from junior high to my junior year of high school. Actually, for 3 to 4 years, I was involved in the temple parades myself, so I have a deep understanding of the Guanjiang Shou. I felt that it would be easy for me to capture its beauty.
Chef Wang said that thinking back, it's hard to believe that he was able to complete the sculpture in a mere 8 hours.
I had never done it before within 8 hours. It always took 20 hours or so. I'll never forget the way I felt, because I was extremely tired. The 4th hour, the 5th hour, I just kept telling myself I had to complete the task.
The most time-consuming step in the challenge was making the general's armor. Every plate in the array was baked on the spot and painstakingly assembled, as the bread had to be baked repeatedly, and this took up precious time.
Doing it that way was the most dangerous option, given that there was only an 8-hour time limit. It meant that I needed to prepare everything before baking and assembling. In the past, contestants who used baking molds would rush the first 6 hours and be relatively relaxed toward the end as they assembled. Because I didn't start baking until 3 hours in, there was a greater risk.
Baked several times over, the dough is transformed by skillful hands into a thing of beauty, with delicate curves impossible to replicate with a baking mold. Chef Wang says that doing it this way gave heart and soul to the sculpture and was the key to winning the competition. The Master Baker's success wasn't a flash in the pan. Back in 2008, when acclaimed Taiwanese baker Wu Pao-chun was competing overseas, Chef Wang had served as an assistant on his team. Chef Wang said that the high bar set by his compatriot had a significant influence on him.
I pursued success relentlessly in every one of those competitions. I asked all the judges how they liked the pieces that were coming from Taiwan. My goal was to find out what each judge saw as the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd placed pieces. Once I knew, I reached out to those contestants.
Not only Chef Wang, but other Taiwanese bakers as well have proven exceptional at global competitions, producing European bread with Taiwanese traits and passing the baton of the championship title to one another.
We're always thinking about what bread represents Taiwan. Of course, bread emerged from the West, and it's simply not a mealtime staple in Asia. So how should we go about making it Taiwanese-style, either in terms of the ingredients or techniques? Really, that's a question that we're still putting together and exploring.
Today, in this Taipei classroom, 2 luminaries of the bread-making world are demonstrating how to make a variety of European breads. Switzerland-based baker Francois Wolfisberg is a veteran judge for the Bakery World Cup, and Mario Fortin of Canada had served as jury chairman for the Masters. Chef Wang, who has competed in both competitions, helps out in the busy kitchen.
We have in Switzerland, we have very long bread tradition, bread culture. We have lots of different influences in our country, which makes it very nice, very open.
According to Chef Francois, Taiwan is very similar to Switzerland in that it has learned from the bread cultures of big countries and used them to develop unique breads of its own. He holds a high opinion of Taiwanese bakers.
I'm judged in competition since 10 years. I could see the improvement, the Taiwanese team. I'm sure taking all the specialities from all the continents, all the different countries makes it very interesting.
Dough kneading and milling techniques are the requisite skills of any professional pastry chef. To rise above the rest, a baker needs the secret ingredient of creativity. Chopping bok choy into bits, Wang intends to combine the greens with cheese and bread. His mind is constantly at work, coming up with new and exciting flavor combinations.
I think it's a type of habit. Your mind has to churn constantly so that you have an endless stream of creative ideas.
As food trends evolve in Taiwan, the local appetite for bread only grows stronger. But what is Taiwan's own bread? In the kitchens, pastry chefs explore that question with every push and pull of the dough in the hope that one day they will bake champion bread of their own.